Hello, and thank you for being here. Welcome back to the podcast. If you are an avid listener, I appreciate you. If you're new, welcome. This is a topic about what Dave Ramsey has said. And so typically, when I do a podcast about Dave Ramsey, it gets a little more attention than normal. I, however, am not here to beat up Mr. Dave today, because really, what is the point in that anyway? But today I want to talk about something that I saw on social media where there was a little clip of Dave talking about the fact that he had spent time with these multimillionaires and this guy was worth all kinds of money, 200 million or something like that. And the guy did not have any money in the stock market. Zero zilcho, no mutual funds, no IRAs, no whatevers. And Dave said, well, where are all your assets? And it was in farm ground. And then he goes on to talk about how awesome this is and how you should be investing in things that you know, not in things you don't know about. What? Dave? How many times have I said that we should not be investing in things we don't know about? And yet, here's Mr. Ramsey himself saying that exact same thing. So as much as I like to hear it, I was annoyed because why is he telling people to go invest in mutual funds and the stock market and put money in a 401k and put money in an IRA and chase some ridiculous, 10, 12, 15% rate of return, and you don't know anything about that either? So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. So I was thinking about this morning because it's just kind of been twirling around in my brain that I 100% agree with the fact that you should be in something that you know. But then I think about, well, what if people don't know things? What are they investing? How do they invest in something if they don't know what it is? And then that led me to believe people are lazy, right? And it's most likely not my listeners, because if it was, you wouldn't be here, right? If you guys were lazy, you would not be here looking for information. That would not be a thing. However, you're here, so you're not one of them. But let's just step back and take a look at everybody around us. Are they too lazy to do any kind of research in order to figure out what they know about? Because what are they knowing about? Most people who are in the market, who are Dave Ramsey followers, who believe everything he says, are punching a clock, they're coming home, and they're watching Netflix. Not that there is anything wrong with any of the above. But if we're not educating ourselves on a topic, do we then get to complain that our 401k isn't working? That we can't take money out of the 401k? What do you mean I can't take money out? Because how many times I probably hear that once a month. What do you mean I can't take my money out if I'm still working there? No, you don't have access to your money in your 401k if you are still working with that employer. Unless your 401k is uber special, that's not happening. And so we put money there thinking that we have access to it and thinking it's more like the savings account tied to the market. When we're not asking questions, we're not doing research. And I talk about this in the farming sector, but it applies to everybody. The biggest portion of what goes through your personal economy is money. It's not cars, it's not homes, it's not vacations, it's money. That is the biggest piece of what's going through your personal finances. It's the cash flow coming from work, going through your hands and paying all your bills. And yet, that is the piece that we neglect to educate ourselves on. And I get it, because we're not super excited about it. Not everybody gets excited about money and finance like I do, like my clients do. right? That's not something that everybody's excited about. Some people are excited about food, exercise, traveling, humanitarian things. It doesn't matter. We all have something that we'd rather focus on. Yet, the one thing that makes our world go round is money, and we neglect to understand it. So we put money in a 401k and an IRA, and we listen to people like Dave, and we throw money into something thinking we're going to get this big rate of return, when in fact, that's not happening. And then there's the tax consequences if we're just going to kick those taxes down the road because we're going to get a tax break today. We're not being taught about cash flow. And so I just find it extremely interesting that he is not only talking about the power of owning real estate, because farm ground is real estate, and he owns rental properties himself. So not only is he talking about how awesome these things are, but he does not seem to be teaching that. And I don't listen to everything Dave says. So let me just put that out there that I could be completely wrong. And his listeners will email me. They always do. And I appreciate that. Inform me if I have missed something because I'm not seeing it on what he is talking about. But how can we save money to create cash flow? And I do, again, agree 100% with Dave in the aspect that you can't spend more than you make. That's just insanity, right? You're never going to get anywhere if you don't understand how to manage a dollar. So kudos to him and his whole program for teaching people how to do that. But I don't see a lot of time being spent on these other things. He's dropping these little bombs, and I don't know if people are listening to them. The other thing I want to add on here is he's talking about farm ground and how valuable it is. And this guy's net worth is what I'm assuming because it was just a clip. And so if he's talking about this guy's net worth, let's talk about how much does he owe on that ground? Dave does not understand farming in the least bit. And it is prevalent with the clients that I have that are Dave Ramsey followers, and they've gone through the whole system of managing money. But at the end of the day, they're getting nowhere because they're being told not to borrow money. And we have to understand how farming works. So much like real estate, that's fantastic that you own $200 million worth of ground, and that's the value of the ground. It's dead equity, or how much do they owe on it? And what is the cash flow coming off of it? Right now, so many people in the non-farming world are looking at farm ground as a great investment. It can be a great investment, absolutely. But we still have to farm it. We still have to work it. We can't just let it sit. You don't buy an apartment building and just let it sit. We want it to work for us. And so again, people are buying into something that they don't truly understand. And they're looking at it as this great value that comes with expenses, value that comes with somebody farming it. How are they farming it? Are they doing regenerative? Are they not? And it's evident when I get calls from people that are non-farmers and they don't know anything about farming. It is why are we investing in something we don't know about? Have we done the education? And so again, invest in what you know. Is it real estate? Is it flipping businesses? You're buying businesses that are, not doing well, and we get them up to the green and they're doing great, and we sell them, and we just keep repeating that cycle. Is it laundromats? Is it car washes? Is it, I talked to a guy a few weeks ago that has a delivery service. Is it delivering mail and packages? What is it that that you can put money in and create more money because you know the economy of that little thing? You know what's going on in that world. And it's like people in, again, that cattle prices are high right now. I can sit here and say cattle prices are going to come down, but I have to listen to people in that world. I know enough about it to be dangerous, but I have to do my due diligence. Are you doing due diligence on anything? What is the topic that is interesting to you? And are you actually paying attention to it? If you are, then go ahead and invest in that topic. Decide what you want to do. If that's not making money, then go to a different business idea. But what's happening is we're all just putting our money into 401ks and IRAs and expecting somebody else to take care of us. And we're not even doing the due diligence on the 401k and the IRA and the stocks that we purchased. I mean, think about that. If you go buy farm ground like this gentleman, or you buy a business, or you buy rental property, do you just buy a piece of rental property and never look at it? Like you just buy it and then you think it's all good. You're just going to close on it and let it sit and hopefully it does its thing. That's what you're doing in 401ks and IRAs. You're just giving your money to somebody else. You're not even looking at what it's invested in because you think that you don't need to because you've been taught that you don't need to. And yet Dave says you should be investing in things that you know. Warren Buffett says you should be investing in things that you know. And we're investing in things that we don't know. Like, what are these wealthy people doing that we should be listening to? Investing in things that we know. And if we don't know those things, go do your due diligence to learn that thing. Being ignorant today is not an excuse for anything because we have everything we need and more at our fingertips. So by not doing research on something, that just means that you're lazy and you don't want to do it. And that's fine. Don't do the research because it doesn't interest you. But then don't complain that you don't have the stuff to go along with it. It's not that we don't have the money. We're being taken advantage of, yada, yada, yada. That's only happening because we're not putting in the effort to learn on the other side. So find your thing. Research it. Now, it might be easy for me to say, I love to research, but I only love to research things I love to know about. My husband wants a new boat. I could give two craps about a boat. I don't know anything about him. I just don't care. How much is it? I don't want to spend a ton of money on a boat. Can we buy something that cash flows to pay for the boat? That's my question. I don't know about boats. I don't know about the engines on boats. I don't know about the kickers. I don't care. I don't know about the storage. I don't want to research it. How many sparkles does it have? Does it have sparkles? That's where I'm at in this whole boat situation. So I get it. But guess what? I'm not going to spend time on that, but I am going to go look at things I want to know about and I'm going to research those. Moral of the story. I agree with Dave. I agree with Dave on probably more things than not, actually, because I really do like a lot of his advice on business, and he's a very smart man. I just don't agree with him having people put money in the market and lie about their rates of return. It's my one little beef with him. And the fact that he doesn't understand whole life insurance. Outside of that, I can agree with almost everything. And this statement was absolutely amazing. So go, do your research, figure out what you want to know, and put some money behind it. And you will have more than if you just stick it in a 401k in an IRA. But do your due diligence. Don't just jump into something blind and hope that it's going to turn out well. That's not going to be any better than a 401k and an IRA. Okay. So pick your evil of what you want to do. Try something on your own, which is going to be a lot of work, or just put money in a 401k and blame somebody else if it doesn't work. You get to decide. Anyway, I love it. I love it. Invest in something you know. It's what I say all the time. All right, guys, if you have comments, questions, concerns, please email me, maryjo@withoutthebank.com. Or if you want to scream at me, you can go to the MJ hotline and you can leave me a voicemail. And you can tell me how amazing Dave is. And I would agree on probably 95% of what you're saying. But anyway, let me know. If you haven't got the book, go to withoutthebank.com, grab your Life Without the Bank book, your BYOB from Nelson Nash, and then we can set up an appointment and have a conversation. All right, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.